Cody, you ready? Oh, okay. Today is Monday, November 21st, 2022. I now call the Education Committee meeting to order. We will open up first with our invocation. Father God, we just come before you today just thanking you for this great opportunity to be here, gathered in your name, Father. We thank you that the information that goes forth is beneficial to each and every person that hears. We thank you, Father God, that people are able to take this information and improve their own qualities of life, share it with a friend, so that we can become a better Birmingham. And so we just thank you for the involvement of each council member that is here today, and Daryl O'Quinn in his absence, as well as the partners that we have that will be making a presentation today. So we just thank you, we praise you, and we love you in Jesus' name. Amen. Counselors, you've had an opportunity to look at the minutes.
Move approval of the June 27th minutes.
Second that. The minutes have been approved. So today we have some very special guests that will be here, or that are here with us, from the Volunteer Lawyers Birmingham group. And so they're going to be giving us a presentation. And so I'd like to ask that you can go ahead and come forward. So we have Mr. Graham Hewitt, who is the Executive Director of Volunteer Lawyers Birmingham. And so he's going to tell us about some of the great things that Volunteer Lawyers is doing, and how we as a city can support.
Thank you. My name is Graham Hewitt. I'm the Executive Director of Volunteer Lawyers Birmingham. With us today, we've got Twala Grant Wallace, that's our Managing Attorney, and our Board Chair, Ken Perry. Wanted to come here today to not only introduce ourselves, but also talk a little bit about some of the programs we've been doing, some of the things, our new initiatives that we've started during the pandemic. Volunteer Lawyers Birmingham, we are a 501c3. We provide free civil and domestic legal assistance to low-income individuals. In order to qualify for our services, you have to have a qualifying legal issue, and also be within 125% of the poverty level. Now, what that means is about $30,000 for a family of four. So it's families that don't have a lot of money, that can't afford an attorney, but for civil issues, you're not going to have the court appoint you one. But these are issues that are affecting things like their lives, finances, family, all these different things that where you really do need an attorney to help you navigate some of these really difficult problems. Since the pandemic began, we've seen about 3,000 clients. That translates to about 6,000 family members. And of those, we've got about 72% of our overall client population is female. 75% of our overall population is African American, and 33% of our overall client population is single mothers. So you're seeing the ways that some of these legal problems disproportionately affect some of our more vulnerable groups. And just by providing our services, what we've been able to do is conservative investments is we've saved the community about $1.3 million just in legal fees that they would be having to pay to attorneys that they couldn't afford in order to get some of these things looked at. What we're doing is we try to protect families as best we can. We do that by protecting their houses. We keep them in their homes through eviction defense and foreclosure defense. We help protect their finances through things like helping with creditor debt actions, and help them out with end-of-life planning documents such as probates, wills, those sorts of things. And we've always kind of operated on a reactive model. So what would happen is somebody would be served with court papers, and then they come and call us because they need some help with that. What we're trying to do is build on our reactive and also be proactive in our services. So what we've done is we've introduced a community education component to our services, which is where we go out into the community and we'll meet with groups and we'll go over something basic like landlord-tenant rights, like wills and estates, end-of-life planning, financial literacy, those types of things, in order to get that education out to the community. Because what we found is that a lot of people don't know what their legal rights are, and so when they come to us, sometimes it's too late, especially in things like evictions. There's kind of a common understanding that you can withhold your rent if something's not working in your apartment. Unfortunately, in Alabama, that's not the case. We are coming out of an eviction moratorium where the courts have just been slammed back to back to back with evictions, and we've been trying to help out with that. And so what we want to do is we want to get out into the community so we can let people know what's going, what their rights are, so that they don't end up in the court. one of our first ones, we went out to Woodlawn High School and spoke to the seniors there. And it's important because what we want to do is, before those kids get out in the world, let them know what their rights are so that they're not getting behind the 8 ball as soon as things get started and have that mark against them on their record. Because what happens is an eviction charge can follow you around just like a criminal charge. Future people won't rent to you. You'll have trouble with some financial things if that ends up on your record. And so, it's important not only to keep them in their homes, but to keep those things off their records. And so with this proactive approach that we're taking along with our reactive approach, we are trying to build sustainable communities and neighborhoods in the area. And so what we want to do is we want to be able to get out into the community and not only speak about the education on the education half, but also do some more community clinics. We're normally down at the courthouse for our in-person help desk or our in-person clinics, but part of the issues that we're seeing there is that nobody wants to go down to court if they can prevent it. Attorneys don't even like going to court. Also with us, there is a lot of people, if they've ever had an attorney before, it's probably not for a good experience. We want that to kind of help improve for people. And so, getting with a trusted group, through the city or in some other neighborhood groups so that we can get out there and continue to build that trust with the community, provide some tools so that people can stay out of trouble, and also provide these clinics so we can help provide them with valuable documents and other protections to keep them in place. Twala, in just a second, we'll talk about some of the specifics of the program, but that's kind of the aim behind what we're doing and what we're trying to do in the community itself. Yeah.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm not going to be redundant on the things that Graham spoke to you about, but I'm going to give you a more in-depth look at who Volunteer Lawyers is. Volunteer Lawyers, as he stated, we traditionally conducted our legal help desk at the courthouses. But over the past 2 years, it gave us an opportunity to just look at how we could be more proactive and more effective in the community. We wanted to have more of an impact in Jefferson County. So we've transitioned into what we call VLB 2.0. We put ourselves out there. We're taking a more proactive approach. This allows us to educate our clients, a population to help them prevent getting into the legal dilemmas that they find themselves in. We would like to help them not have to face evictions, not have to face creditor-debtor actions. So we're educating you and we're equipping you with the tools to do that. But we're now focusing on being more in the community. We're focusing on doing more clinics. The first of our clinics would be a wills clinic. And the typical belief in our community is that especially our client population, is I don't need a will. I don't have any money. I don't have anything to leave to anyone. But what we have to educate them to know is that your home is your family value. For the typical person, that is all that they have, so we want to help you to maintain that within your home. The pandemic was a perfect example of why people needed to be educated on having wills. We were receiving calls all day, every day of saying, Mom died, Dad died, Granddad died, I need to change the will into my name, the home into my name. It doesn't work that way. You have to have a will in order to be probated, in order to change that home into your name. For our client population, they are people without wills, which means that they have to have an intestate estate. An intestate estate equates into having to be bonded. Right now in Jefferson County, bonds are probably as difficult to obtain as a mortgage. Our client population is not bondable. So we are trying to educate them on the need to have what we in Alabama now call the big three. They need last wills and testaments. They need powers of attorney prior to that person becoming very ill or incapacitated. And they also need living wills to keep the family from getting into the stress or the conflict of having to decide last minute issues when a person has been deemed terminally ill or in a coma. So we're educating them on the appropriateness of just protecting your family and protecting your family wealth. The next clinics that we've started quarterly expungement clinics. And you might say, well, you guys do civil issues, so why are you doing expungement issues? Because that ventures into the criminal law arena. But expungement, those issues affect our client population because we found that people who need jobs can't obtain those jobs for things that are on their records. I think it's a threat made to kids when they're in school when you're told this will go on your permanent record. Well, for a lot of adults, it's not merely a threat. a criminal charge, or anything on their record, it can be a huge obstacle to obtaining housing, education, loans, and a number of other things. It's affected a lot of the businesses that are coming into Jefferson County and Birmingham. We've spoken with a number of large businesses such as Coca-Cola. We've heard indirectly from Buffalo Rock. We've heard indirectly from Amazon. People always say, well, there are jobs out there. We see signs saying hiring everywhere. But those signs don't tell you the entire truth. When people apply for these jobs, they have things on their record that once they run a background check, those obstacles will pop up and they're not allowed to hire them. Now understand, it doesn't mean convictions. The first thing people think about when they hear of expungements, well, oh, you're helping criminals to get things off of their records. No, expungements apply to misdemeanors, traffic offenses, municipal ordinance violations, things of that nature. They apply to a designated group of nonviolent felonies. But the one thing about it is it's not only a conviction. Expungements apply to charges. When you're charged and it's dismissed or you're found not guilty, it doesn't go away. It still shows up on a background check. So it hurts our population in that they can't find jobs, or the jobs that they find are not enough to sustain their families. So they're in need of our services. Our job at Volunteer Lawyers is not to keep our population at or below the federal poverty level. We seek to help them advance to be better able to take care of their families. So this is why we think expungements are very important. Again, it helps to change the lives of everyone involved. For the city of Birmingham, it will help you remove those unemployment people from the unemployment rolls. It will help you address the crime rate. People who can't find jobs, unfortunately, and it's right or wrong, unfortunately, the recidivism rate increases. They go back to doing the same things because you don't know what someone will do when they're desperate trying to take care of their families. A perfect example is a young lady who came to one of the second chance job fairs that we were trying to assist. She had basically stolen a credit card. But amazingly, the victim was the person who was her biggest advocate, because when I looked at the list of things that were on the belt credit card that she took, this young lady had 5 children, and every single item on that record was she was getting clothing for her children, not one item for herself. The victim was her advocate and begged the court basically to dismiss one of the charges and to reduce another of the felonies to a misdemeanor. When you ask her that important question that's asked on an expungement application, why do you want one? She said, I want my children to have a better life. I want them to know right from wrong. I want to improve what I'm doing. I want to go back to school to obtain a nursing certification. So there are people who need this to better their lives, to get into a better situation. Again, your potential employers, it helps them to sustain and increase their employee pool. When people feel like there's not a big enough employee pool, they don't want to come into a county or a city. So we're opening that up for the city as well. In conversations that I've had with some of your council people, it's even affecting the city of Birmingham. You're having difficulty obtaining drivers. Why? Traffic infractions on their records prevent them from CDL licenses or anything like that. So it's helping everyone. It's a win-win situation. A lot of the clinics, as Graham has stated, are community education clinics. We want to go out into the community to help in those target areas that we see that are keeping you from just living better lives. The overall goal is to help people live their best lives. We have engaged with a number of partners since we've decided to do these community education and community projects. It's basically opened people's eyes to what VLB is, because again, they always thought that we were the people who showed up at the courthouse just to help out clients, but we're more than that. And when people have looked and seen that we're actually in the community being proactive, they've stepped up, just one person after another. Some of our partners now include the Salvation Army Center of Hope, their Work Development Center. We will be presenting a number of community education clinics there, things that will help their client population and the neighborhood that surrounds them. I3 Academy, which is in Councilman Moore's neighborhood. We will be partnering with I3 at their request to do community education for their parents and the community that they sit in, as well as doing conflict resolution courses for their middle school students. They're incorporating that into their curriculum. And right now, if you just turn on your TV or look at your AL.com or anything for 1 second, you will know that conflict resolution is something that is sorely needed in our community. So we're trying to reach the kids where they are, not when they're in high school. We're trying to reach them at the middle school level where they're able to comprehend and make changes and decide who they are and who they want to be. Another of our partners, which we're very proud to say, is we're partnering with the Magic City Bar, and they will be co-partnering with us on every expungement clinic that we have, because they realize their current motto is purpose, vision, and community. And that's what the expungements will do. They will give someone purpose, and they have a bigger vision for the community. So they will be our partners going into it. We are also partnering with the NAACP. They have reached out to us to ask that when people call their state office and it's a non-civil rights matter, but they have legal issues that come within the scope of what we are doing, they will refer those Jefferson County clients to VLB. So as you can see, VLB is everywhere. We're trying to do everything, and we have a number of clinics. I think the one thing that we found out that we were very surprised at was that we're sitting right here in the city of Birmingham, in Jefferson County, and to the best of my knowledge, VLB has never received funding from the county commission or from the city of Birmingham. We want to change that because we're impacting lives in the city and the county. Commissioner Tyson has volunteered to fund all projects that we're doing within her district. But we don't want to exclude anyone else in Jefferson County, and especially in Birmingham. We want to help everyone. Our expungement clinics will not only help Jefferson County, Birmingham. We partnered with Danny Carr and Lanice Washington that each of those clinics will alternate between the Birmingham Division of Jefferson County and the Bessemer Cutoff Division to make sure that everyone is able to take advantage of the services that VLB is offering. So our first clinic was held on November 4th at the Salvation Army Center of Hope. Our next clinic will be held February 24th, and it will be held in the cutoff area. But we're out there doing things for them. We will be doing a Wills clinic in the Bessemer cutoff area in 2023, early 2023. We will be doing a Wills clinic December 1st in Councilman Moore's district. We're trying to do them everywhere we can. On January 20th, I think, we will be doing another Wills clinic at the Salvation Army Center of Hope. So as you can see, and what we started to say is VLB 2.0. We're here to help better the city of Birmingham, to help better Jefferson County. And it's something that we can't do on our own. We need support from you. And I think Graham will come next just to tell you what type of support we need. And thank you, gentlemen, for your attention.
I don't know why I'd ever think it's a good idea to follow Twala. I'm going to try to do that. As Twala said, you know, our programs are really set up to help out in the neighborhoods with the way that they are. You know, our goal is to not only help build the sustainable workforce, but protect those assets that are in place, because a lot of times the family home is going to be the most valuable asset that family has. And so by building a sustainable workforce and helping keep people in jobs and helping keep houses in families, we can help start to build like some generational wealth for the communities out there. And so we're looking at trying to do this a few different ways. I mean, one, there are costs that go into putting on our clinics, and we need help with costs. I know it's end of the year and that things have already been spoken for and everything, but going forward, not only just in each district, but also wider city funding opportunities. I know there's grant programs and everything else like that, but want to really know which is kind of our best fit and where we can really make the most impact. And then two, just a better partnership with the city, with the council members, in order to get into the neighborhoods, into the districts, see where those leaders are, see who we can connect with, whether it's churches, barbershops, you know, community centers, centers, those types of things, so we can get to the places that people go, that people trust, where that is, so that we can actually get there and make a little bit more of an impact. As Twala was saying, at our last expungement clinic that was up at the Salvation Army, that same day we were doing a Will's clinic over in Tarrant, and we were just at a small church there. We could take our show on the road and go wherever we can. So that's our real goal. There are several areas of Birmingham that are transportation deserts, so trying to get out to the people that can't get to us, and to really help that out, especially on the Will side where you do have limited mobility among the client base, so that we can do things a little bit easier for them. So that's really what we're looking at is not only just a partnership with funding and financial support, but also with community support too, and being able to build those bridges into the community itself. Do y'all have any questions today or anything?
For sharing this information with us. Counselor Woods, did you have any questions? Any thoughts?
Just a couple comments. I did have some visibility into y'all's, I want to say, most recent expungement clinic, and I am excited to see you guys kind of be more proactive, as you said. But I think that is something much needed. I think you really hit on all the 360-degree wraparound issues that kind of can come from items on people's record, specifically preventing them from getting jobs. And so I think that was one of the things we found out in trying to help connect people to jobs was, some of these things that are just stuck on records and things like that. So I definitely appreciate the work you are doing, and definitely would be very interested in finding out how to work with you guys.
And yeah, I guess, one of the things I'll say is, I did have an opportunity to go to the community education program that we did at Woodlawn High School. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you don't really think about, when's the first time you had an interaction with an attorney. Most of the time, for most people, it's in those situations where it's a crisis moment, mm-hmm. or it's reactionary, like you all stated. But I think it was very impactful for them to be able to talk and to listen to an attorney or to a judge, talk to them about, how not to, sign things that, could eventually become problematic for them later on, and just giving them that early information to hopefully prevent them from falling prey to some of these situations. And so I definitely know that the work that you all do is important, especially, even with Wills. You all said that the next Wills clinic is
December 1st.
December 1st. Mm-hmm. And so it's a great opportunity for folks to come out and to really get a will, mm-hmm. For all the reasons that you stated before. And so, yeah, and like with the expungement clinic, I'm really excited about that, because I know that there are several people that, I've ran into that, have stated that, hey, I can't get a job because I have certain things on my record. And so it's a great opportunity for anybody that is struggling with those situations to come and have those problems rectified. Mm-hmm. And so thank you for that service. And for the record, you said all of this is free, correct?
It is all free.
Like how does somebody go about, qualifying for?
So for all of our services, it is free. Now, occasionally they'll have filing fees or something like that for a particular legal issue. There are affidavits of substantial hardship that can help either get those fees delayed or waived, just depending on the type of situation it is. But to get in and talk to an attorney, that's always going to be free from us. So, right at the door, you're saving that $250, $500 for that initial appointment. But when clients call in, they speak to our intake, and we do a full intake. It'd be similar to any other kind of government benefit, whether it's WIC or anything like that. Go over their financial situation, members of the household, things like that, and then have to have a qualifying legal issue. So just depending on what we're doing, or what we're seeing. So, the beauty of like a community clinic is that, depending on the neighborhood in Birmingham, you're going to have areas where 90% of the people qualify, and it's going to, be able to get to a lot of people, and so we try to keep our intake as simple as possible. It does take 10 to 15 minutes per person, but after that we get them sitting with a client and go through things. For a will, you got Twala talked about the 3 different documents you got. We'll have notaries and witnesses on hand to get those all squared away, so those documents are live that day. But you're looking at some pretty substantial savings for the clients that are able to take advantage of these services. Same with expungements too. These can be some more, they can be fairly expensive, and if you're looking at a senior couple on a fixed income, something like a will and a power of attorney and the advanced directives is you're looking at $1,000 a person for that, and so when you're looking at 2 seniors on income, that can be that entire month. So really trying to bring that value and keep it in the community so that we can help protect the families and their assets.
Got you. Okay. And then just so I'm clear as well, how would anybody that wants to participate in a wills clinic or an expungement clinic, how would they need to go about, connecting with VLB?
Yeah, that our phone number is our first line. Is just kind of connecting with us. We've got flyers up at the courthouse and places like that. We need to bring some by here, make sure that we have some in the courthouse or in the City Hall and around. We work with a lot of community partners to make sure that our info is out there. So far on our last 2 clinics, those were full. So we're trying to keep things, we want to expand as we go, but we want to make sure that it's manageable. One of our big things is managing client expectations. What we don't want to do is get people down there and then say, we don't have enough attorneys for you today. You have to come back next time. So these last 2 clinics, both of them had about 30 clients. Each one took about 6 hours. We had about 30 attorneys helping. So I mean, we can start once we start getting into it. Look at expanding those more. But hopefully be able to get to as many people that need our services. But I mean, right now everything we've done is full, and so we're hoping to keep those appointments just booked all the way through.
Gotcha. And so is there a website that you
and our website is vlbham.org, which is V as in volunteer, L as in lawyer, and then Beham, BHAM.
Okay. Got you. All right. Councilman, did you have any more questions or concerns?
No, sir.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you to you all for coming out and sharing this information. I know that this is extremely beneficial to all of our residents, and something that we all need to participate in if we qualify.
Correct.
So I just want to say thank you to you, Graham, Ms. Twala, as well as Mr. Parker for coming out. And yeah, I look forward to working with you all, or having you all work with several other counselors in the City Hall. So,
all right, great, thank you, and we'll get some more information out to you all. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Lastly, just want to make an announcement that we have, according to this information, 3 positions that will be available on the Birmingham Library Board. Ms. Kimberly Richardson, Ms. Kimberly Richardson, Ms. Lynn Flowers Martin will both be expiring. Their terms will be expiring on December 31st, 2022. And we also have a Georgia Morgan Blair whose term expired December 31st, 2016. I need to just take a look at that. I thought we had replaced everybody that was that far gone, but yeah, I thought we did, but okay. Well, at any rate, anybody who would like to apply for that, please go to the birminghamal.gov/boards and agencies, and you'll be able to see that application and apply. If there are no other thoughts or comments, I'd like to have a motion for an adjournment.
I move adjournment.
Second. We are adjourned.